Yo, it's your boy Indigo X, episode 16, and we have a very special episode, man. This is my first episode where I'm recording in different time zones, like that level type crazy. We have a bona fide superstar in himself, Tevin Mack, on the show. Welcome.
Appreciate it, bro. I'm glad to be on, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. How you living, man? Like I said, you in Greece. How you living?
It's just good so far. I ain't got no complaints for real, bro. It's about to get dark. It's like 7 p.m. right now, so I'm just chilling right now. You know, running down for the day. Chilling.
That's what's up. Is the food really, like, is it a big difference?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's honestly better because they use like real ingredients. You feel me? Like, it's not, in America everything's kind of like saturated down with like a lot of sugars and all that, but over here it's like real natural stuff. So it's pretty good to me. I ain't gonna lie. I've been eating good.
That's what's up, bro. I'm gonna tell you this story real quick, bro. This was like 20. I think I was a junior. No, I was a senior. You was a junior, and it was the state championship games or whatever down at USC State at Colonial Stadium.
Yeah.
And I saw you, and I was like, "Hey, they go tell him, speak to him, whatever." I went up and I spoke to him. I dapped you up.
Yeah,
bro. I've never dapped somebody up and their hands felt so fucking big. And I never told you that. And every time now I see you, I always just fist pound you. I don't never dap you up no more, bro. Cause I ain't never.
It's OD, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, your hands are big as hell, bro. But I just had to let it be known. But man, let's get into it, man. Tell the people where you're from, a little bit about your background, things like that.
Yeah, man. I'm from Columbia, born and raised Columbia, South Carolina. I think my first time picking up a basketball I was like maybe 2 or 3 years old. I got inspired from watching my older brother play. He was like, like a few years older than me, so I came up watching him, and he was the one that kind of put the ball in my hands and let me know I can do this. So, I said, I'm from Columbia, grew up playing basketball pretty much my whole life, bro, and it's kind of where it got me at today. So I'm excited about that. I'm glad I was able to make that happen for myself, So, yeah.
So, like I know basketball's in your family. What was it always basketball for you? Was it just like, okay, I know I'm a hoop?
Yeah, it was pretty much always that, bro. Like, I knew this is what I wanted to do since I was maybe like 4 or 5 years old, for real. Like, since I was a kid, like I always knew this is what I wanted to do at some level professionally. So, always been my goal and my plan. They wanted me to play football in high school, but I wasn't doing that. Especially not for Jared, bro. We wasn't even good enough for that personally for me. So, I was thinking of basketball. I know I was gonna probably make it out that way. So, it was always hoop for me.
Do you think it's easier for a basketball player to play football or a football player to play basketball?
That's a good question, bro.
Huge debate.
Great question. I would say probably a football player playing basketball because they naturally are better athletes and they kind of stronger and faster, so they can kind of convert to basketball and at least be a good role player on the court at least. So I don't play with some good role player football players on the court, so I know how that can go. So I think football to basketball is pretty easier.
What position would you have played if you did convert over?
Probably receiver, bro. Receiver or tight end, one of the two. Because I'm kind of tall. Well, I am tall, so probably receiver or tight end.
That's what's up. So speaking of your height, man, when I see here, watch a lot of people growing up playing basketball, you were tall early.
Yeah, I was.
How did you break that mold of? Because a lot of people be 6'5" in high school playing center and trying to be on the post, but you were bringing the ball up. How did you not limit yourself to that because you were tall?
I don't know, bro. Cause it's crazy because I was the biggest guy on my team. Even in high school, I was the biggest guy on Dreer's team. So I don't really know. I think just coming up, I always kind of had the ball in my hands. Even playing as a kid, playing AAU, and I always had a shot. So I think being able to shoot opened up the floor for me a lot. So that's kind of really what it was, being able to have that shooting touch.
And I know you can work on your jump shot, but do you think it's just a natural born talent how you can shoot the ball, or is it something that you put in? I know you put in the hours, but do you think it just came natural?
I think part of it is natural. You got to have some sort of natural touch, from God, but you got to be able to practice that craft and hone that craft, to get it where it needs to be. So I think it's part of it is natural, but part of it you got to kind of perfect that craft per se too.
Growing up, watching you've been in the spotlight for forever. So, where did your score first mentality come from?
One funny story about that, bro. So you remember Coach Richards from Drew, the basketball coach? Richards?
Mm-hmm.
He was there when I first got there my ninth grade year, and he had the guys all before me. So I made varsity my freshman year at Drew, varsity basketball, and I ended up starting. And we were kind of having like an up and down season. And he told me one day after the game, he was like, look, you need to shoot 20 shots a game, no less. Like, no less than 20, bro. Like, you got the green light. Go ahead, do you. You know what I'm saying? Be yourself and go out there and do what you do. So, I ain't gonna lie, ever since then, like, I was already a scorer before that, but I never had a coach necessarily tell me that. So, after that, it was like, all right, bro, you got the green light everywhere you go. It don't matter if you're on this team, this city, that state. It don't matter. Like, wherever you go, shoot the ball. So, really, since then, bro, he kind of put it in my head that you a scorer, so you were a scorer, bro, so go be that. So, ever since then, it was that. So, shout out to Richards for that.
He made a bucket. Flip that switch.
Like, I never had a coach tell me that before, bro. So it gave me the confidence I needed in myself to go out there and do that every night, no matter who was out there, who was playing against. So shout out to him for that, for real.
That's what's up. So did you ever like consider switching up your game, like become more of a point forward type player, or was it always just you fell in that role and you loved it?
It's like I said, bro, it's kind of natural. Like I fell into that role. But real quick at an early age, and I've always been in that role since then. So I never really had to, stray away from that. Even when I got to college, I was still like in a scoring role, like even with guys that are actually like NBA players now. So I was always that go-to scorer no matter what. So ever since then, bro, it's always been instilled in me, and I just kind of carried it on from there.
That's what's up. So all right, you had your great career at Dreer. You're not a Columbia name. You're in the world name. You know you have a Wikipedia page?
Yeah, I know, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And they got my age wrong. They're talking about I'm 26. I'm only 25, bro. I was born in 97. I did see that, though. I did see that.
That's crazy because I was doing my little research or whatever, and I typed your name in the Wikipedia. I said, Tevin has a Wikipedia page. That's crazy. But you go from Dreer, and you committed to VCU, correct? And then you went with Shaka over to Texas. What was that like, and why make the decision to follow him?
Because it was somebody at the time that I trusted. You know what I'm saying? I trusted, bro. I liked him. I thought he was a good coach, which he is a great coach. And I just wanted to, be a part of what he was building. So I followed him to Texas, and honestly, Texas was probably a bigger move than going to VCU. To be honest, like Texas is like one of the biggest schools in the country, bro. So going there was a blessing in itself. So I wanted to, take the opportunity on and go there and do what I did. So I was looking forward to that at the time.
So talk about the transition from your first year as a D1 hooper from high school to D1 to your second year. Like what leaps did you make in your progress there?
I ain't gonna lie, from college to high school, bro, that's a big jump. Like, especially, playing, I think in South Carolina, I was the guy, so but when you get to college, everybody was the guy on their high school team. So you got to kind of learn how to play with great players again if you haven't learned that before. So that was one of the adjustments I had to make from high school to freshman year. And then my freshman year was kind of up and down. I played with a lot of older guys. I was like one of the younger guys on my team. We had 6 seniors on my team. So I kind of just sat back and learned from them for the most part my freshman year, bro. And then after they left, the next year I kind of stood up into a bigger role of being a guy on the team. I was averaging, I think, 5 points my freshman year, and I ended up averaging 15 my sophomore year. So I took a 10-point jump in one of the best conferences in the country. So that was a big jump from freshman year to sophomore year for me. So I was excited about that at the time.
Can you explain to people, because I had a lot of conversation with people that I say hoop, that are like real hoopers. Can you explain like how tough it is to just get 15 shots up a game? Like is that something like people think it's easy just to go put up 25 shots, but explain that.
You got to be an alpha, like in your mind, like to do that for real. Like I said, because everybody in college, they was the man on their high school team, so everybody already think they're the man still. So you got to really kind of separate yourself a little bit from those guys from that group. So it's not easy, bro. Like I didn't have that green light my freshman year, but I put in that work that summer after freshman year to kind of gain my coach's respect and trust. And they gave me the green light going into sophomore year, and I kind of just took off from there as far as scoring the ball at the collegiate level. So yeah, it's not easy, bro, but I did it.
Yeah. So is it? I hear a lot of people say when they do go off to college that they already feel like it's a full-time job. Just talk about your everyday schedule as a D1 hooper.
It's way more than basketball. Like basketball is probably like a 5% of what's going on for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to go to class every day. And you got to go to class. You ain't missing class because they got class checkers, bro. So if you don't go to class, they're going to report back to your coach and you got to probably do some type of punishment run or something. So you got to go to class and you got to probably do weights in the morning. Then you got to wake up after that and go to study hall. Then you got to go to practice. And then after practice, you might have study hall again that night just to finish up some homework or something, bro. So it's like a gruesome schedule, honestly. Like every day is already planned out for you every day. So it's kind of like a boom, 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 boom. But it helped me get more organized, bro. Helped me get more discipline, so I can't complain about it too much, you know. So I'm appreciative of that.
Right. And what was your diet like? Because as when I went to a JUCO to play football, they had me eating like 3,000 calories a day to try to bulk up. But what's a basketball diet?
I had to really. I wanted to bulk up too because I was little as hell in high school, so I had to add some weight too when I got to college. I think I was maybe like 185 when I got on campus, and I'm 220 now, so I ended up adding like 30 pounds of like, you know, good healthy weight. So, and I needed that. So I think just really eating a lot, bro, a lot of carbs, a lot of protein, a lot of grilled chicken, not fried chicken, a lot of greens and vegetables, you know, salads and stuff. I had to actually get into eating salads. I didn't eat that shit when I was in high school, so had to get into eating that when I got to school. Drinking more water, eating more fruit, you know, just stuff like that, bro. Kind of cleaning up your diet a little bit from going from eating McDonald's every day to eating more like, you know, gourmet meals. So it's kind of what it was.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, the basketball players I know, y'all did have some of the like most unhealthy diets and then go drop 30. So I was very confused by that. Very confused.
CC's before the game, like CC's buffet, hella pizzas and cinnamon rolls and shit, and still go out there and go crazy. So came a long way from that.
So another question, just to go back again, when was your moment of clarity of like, I'm different? Like I'm not your everyday hooper, you know. I mean, I can score when I want to. When did it click for you? Like, okay, yeah, I can do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, bro, probably when after my sophomore year in high school, I played AAU for this Under Armour sponsored team called Carolina Wolves, and that was like the first, I think, sponsor team I played for in my career. So we got on the circuit and played a bunch of like top name guys, and I was always like killing all those guys, bro. Like I led the whole league in scoring with guys that play in the NBA right now. So I just knew since then I was gonna be one of those ones after that, and I just kind of carried it over from that, bro. For real, I think I averaged like 30 points on the circuit that year, and ever since then I started getting offers coming in, and then I knew I was one of the ones since then, for real.
That's what's up. Where did you get your trash talking from? Or do you go into a game and say, all right, I'm not going to talk no trash, I'm just going to hoop, and then somebody start with you, or are you initiating it?
I hardly ever initiate anything, bro. Most of the time I kind of go in the game, you know, locked in on, focus on what I got to do at hand. But it's always somebody that kind of like try me and they bring it out of me, bro. So when you bring it out of me, I'm going to give you what you want. You feel me? So that's kind of what it is. When I get started, I don't stop. Like, I'm going to talk to you all night long. I'm going to get in your head. I'm going to make you regret even saying anything to me. So I think I do that with the best of them, too. I talk a lot of trash. So, but it always works out in my favor for the most part. So can't complain about it, for real.
So did you have a welcome to D1 moment?
Oh, yeah. My freshman year, we played in the Big 12. So we played against a bunch of the NBA guys that's in the NBA right now. But you probably, you know, Buddy Hield from the shooter from, I think he played for the Pacers now. Bro, yeah. I played him freshman year, and he was going crazy. I think he was a senior. He was going crazy that year. I think he led the whole country in scoring. He was the national player of the year that year. So watching him play, I'm like, his levels for real. Like, he was better than everybody on the court. You know what I'm saying? No matter who he was playing against. Damn. So, bro really put that work in. And I kind of looked at him as like a role model in that aspect. I kind of wanted to be like him as far as a college basketball player. So that was probably it, bro. Playing him and having to guard him and like not being able to actually guard him at all was one of those things like, all right, you got to get better till you ain't where you thought you was yet. So kind of put me down a little bit, actually, to be honest.
That's what's up. So, you at Texas, and then you go to Alabama in the SEC. Yeah. Is it? I know in football they say more conferences are fast, and the SEC is more physical. Does that also transfer to basketball as well too?
That's very valid for basketball too. I could say that SEC is really physical. Actually, when I went to Bama, they made me put on like I think 10 more pounds of muscle just to be able to compete. Because like it's very physical. They don't call too many fouls. They don't let you, complain. They let you just play through a lot of stuff. So I had to get ready for that. So it's definitely more physical than the SEC, ACC, or the Big 12 for sure.
All right. Did you? Was it another school you would think about going to other than Bama?
Yeah, at that time, bro, I think I had like a bunch of schools inquire about me because I was like one of the top transfers in the country at that time, after leaving Texas. So I think I was about to actually commit to Georgia. I think it was UGA, Alabama. There was one more school. I think it might have been like Oregon. I think it might have been Oregon. Yeah.
So what made Alabama the one?
Honestly, it was a coach that I was really close with since high school that was there at the time, and really he kind of got me there. He kind of sold it to me, and I went there on a visit, and I loved it, fell in love with it, and I really didn't leave since then. At that point.
Is being down there in Alabama? I mean, I don't think I drove through Alabama, not been in there, but is it stuff to do in Alabama? I know that's kind of a crazy question.
Surprised, like the town that the school is in is a very small town. It's a very small college town, but it's a lot going on. Like on game day Saturdays for football, it's like an extra 100,000 people that come in town. It's like cookouts, great tailgates, great food. Just regular stuff to do, bro. So it's a very active town to say the least. I had a great time there, to be honest.
That's what's up. Another on the court question. When do you feel like your night is your night? Like when you know, like, okay, I can go for 30 right now. Like, is it after your first shot, or is it like in warm-ups? Like, when does it click?
It's definitely not in warm-ups, because sometimes in warm-ups I might hit every shot and then come out and go 0 for 4 at first. So it's not warm-ups. It's probably, if I make my first 2 like jump shots I shoot in the game, like they both go in back to back. I'm like, all right, it's gonna be one of those nights for sure. Like it's like I'm throwing a rock in the ocean or something. So it's kind of like that. If I make my first 2 shots, it's gonna be one of those nights for sure.
So, and what did you say to people? Because I believe when you was in high school, like you said, you had a smaller frame, but you were already tall. Did you have that voice in the back of your head where people would be like, okay, if we be physical, then he can't score or something like that? Was that always something like pushing you?
Yeah, they definitely tried it, bro, a lot. That was a lot of people's game plan, was to kind of like try to bully me, but you can't bully the bully, so I wasn't going for that at all. Like, I always been that in my head that nobody could really check me for real. Like, I always had that confidence in myself, so I would just say, just knowing in the back of my mind, I probably had to get stronger physically, but like as far as the heart, nobody had a bigger heart than me on the court. So kind of what it was back in those days.
So you hear a lot of like Michael Jordan, The Last Dance, and just different athletes like creating stories in their head just to get into their mood. Have you ever done that before?
It's real, bro. You got to. Like, honestly, I do it to this day still. Like, I might see somebody we about to play against and like, man, you probably think I'm trash, so I got to show, bro. I'm really like that. I make it's kind of crazy, but you got to be a little bit off to be good at like sports. I feel like, bro, you got to be a little bit like ticking with certain stuff to be good at sports. So even like I said, MJ, Kobe, they all was like a little bit off, but they were great at their sport because they kind of made those stuff, made those stories, made those scenarios, and kind of used it to their advantage. So definitely, I do that all the time, bro. Definitely, for sure.
And what do you think about this whole TikTok movement with hoopers? I see a lot of people saying that they on TikTok hooping, and they really think they can like compete with like pro hoopers. And like, what do you think about that?
I think it's levels, bro. Matter of fact, I know it's levels, but I think that it's a lane for them to make some money. So make your bread. But as far as like competing with pros, most of the guys really can't do that. Like, it's a lot of YouTube hoopers, a lot of TikTok hoopers these days. Cause that's the movement, right? That's what's in right now. But they can't really compete. They can't really compete because they didn't really put that work in like us. So they ain't really compete. They can't really compete with us. Personally, I feel like that. But it's a lane for everybody to kind of do what they do. So I just be watching sometimes. I think it's cool to see, but if it come to playing one-on-one or something like that, then I'm gonna never take myself every time over them.
Would you play one of them if they tried to call you out?
Yeah, on their channel for some bread or something like that. Yeah, for sure. more.
So I know you said your welcome to D1 moment was Buddy Hield, but was he be the toughest person you ever had to guard?
Honestly, I would say yeah, but I played against other dudes too that was probably just as good as him. It was a dude, George Niang from Iowa State, my freshman year. He played for the Sixers now. He was one of the ones I had to guard. I couldn't really guard him as a freshman. I was just too small. He was smarter than me too because he was older. Monte Morris from Iowa State playing in the league now, tough guard. Devontae Graham from Kansas, tough guard, in the league now as well. So really those four, bro, kind of welcomed me to college at a young age. Like, all right, bro, you got to really get better because there's levels to this shit for real. Like, it's not just you here and you good. Nah, everybody's good. Some dudes are just superior. So I wanted to be superior like those guys.
So after Bama, you come home, you go to Clemson. You played in the ACC, the Big 12, and the SEC, which is arguably the best three conferences in college basketball. Was that planned? Was that more internal, or it just happened?
It just happened, bro. Honestly, I didn't plan none of that shit. Like, it just kind of played out like that, and I ended up having success at all three stops. So it's a blessing looking back on it that I made a lot of friends at all schools, relationships I built, and I played well, and I had a good time. So it kind of just played out like that, Thank to God.
That's what's up. So who's the best teammate you played with? I don't mean to put people on blast.
That's cool. I played with a lot of dudes in the league now too. That's one I played. Man, that's tough. Hold on, let me think about that. I don't want to make nobody mad. Hold on. Let me. Damn. All right. I didn't play with Colin Sexton, but we was on the same team. That was my red shirt year at Bama. So we was on the same team, but I didn't play in the games with bro. But we was still tight, whatever. So I'll probably say Colin Sexton, bro. Like, he was a freshman. Watching him come in and kind of dominate the scene like that was pretty impressive to me. So he was a freshman, but probably Colin Sexton. But I also played with Jarrett Allen at Texas. He was like my center my sophomore year. He's in the league now. He was really good too. Herb Jones who plays for the Pelicans now. He was really good defender. Probably the best defender I ever played with. And at Clemson, I played with a dude named Amir Sims. He was a really good power forward center, and we had a good 1-2 punch. And he was probably one of my favorite teammates I played with so far in my career.
Okay, that's what's up. Talk about workout videos, because a lot of people seem to think if you hooping and you post a workout video, you just work for that 5-minute clip. But just tell them, like, how much time are you putting in the gym?
Bro, I done put so many hours in the gym. It's crazy. Like, I definitely put in my 10,000 hours and then some, like, to master this, to master my game. So those workout videos are like a small glimpse of what's really going on, like in real life. It kind of just get your fans maybe some content, or whoever supports you some content to see that you're actually working and having fun doing what you do. So that's like a small portion of what's really going on, though. But it's like maybe a 5-minute clip to like maybe an actually 2-hour workout or something like that. So it's a lot of time that gets put into this game, and I wouldn't trade it for nothing. So blessed to have it.
That's what's up. So when you go to like these open run gyms, or when they just be putting teams together and you be running, do you go into those games saying, okay, I'm about to work on this move, I'm about to practice this dribble pull up or fade away? Or do you have like something you going in there to work on? Yeah,
I try to always bring something out that I probably haven't done before, like in public. I might have worked on it in private a little bit, but I always try to bring something out that's probably new. So I probably go in there with thinking, all right, I might work on coming off this screen and doing a step back left or something like that, like this game. Or I might work on my post game this time, back to the basket, spin post fades or whatever. So it just kind of depends on who we playing and where I'm playing at. And I kind of go out there and kind of try to work on stuff, depending on, like I said, who we're playing and where I'm playing at. It just depends.
And how long does that stay in your mind until somebody start talking trash? Then it just turns into, okay, I'm just gonna go to work.
As soon as they start talking, that shit go out the window. I'm ready to kill everybody. They start talking like that's most games, bro. Just chilling until somebody start with me, and I got to show you that you're really not like that, how you think you are. So that's all it is most of the time.
Nah, that's different though, because a lot of people can like start talking trash and take themselves out the game. So I guess it's frustrating when you can talk trash and then still do what you do. Like that's frustrating.
It's better when I talk. So like I think it's the opposite for me, to be honest.
So are you 6'6"? Because I ain't gonna lie, last time I saw you, I said you might be 6'7", pushing 6'8".
I think that I'm 6'7" now, bro, in shoes. So I think I definitely grew a couple inches over the last few years. I claim 6'7". We gonna say 6'7".
So why do if you go when you're playing football, they give you like an extra inch or two, but then in basketball, I feel like they short y'all an inch or two. Why is that?
Oh, I don't know, and I hate that because I really want to be 6'7", like, you know what I'm saying? Because the taller you are, you get paid. So I'm 6'7", man. Like, I'm caught up. 6'7".
Because I still don't understand why they're saying KD is like 6'9", 6'10". He's definitely 7 foot. Like, I don't understand why.
Met him before. He's definitely 7 feet tall, like for sure, bro. Like, because I'm 6'7", like I said, bro. And I gotta look up to this man like this. Like, he definitely at least 7 feet tall. Like, it's crazy. With guard skills, it's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. That's different. So, do you have a athlete that you model your game after? I don't want to say you're trying to replicate them, but do you take bits and pieces of people and try to incorporate that?
You just said it. Really, KD is my favorite player, bro, ever since I was probably in middle school. So I watched bro game a lot, and honestly, subconsciously, like I didn't really notice it at the time, but like since I was watching him so much, my game started to look just like his over time, and like I was like, damn, bro, you really play just like this dude. Like the little hezzy pulls, the post up phase, like the one leg phase. Like I got all that from him, and I didn't really notice it until I got older. But I kind of take parts from a lot of people's games too at the same time. Like I like to watch a lot of old Kobe highlights from when he was with the Lakers, obviously. A lot of old MJ in the post, like mid post work. I watch LeBron highlights too, just because he's a great leader, like vocally on and off the court. So like, I try to pick up things from everybody and kind of piece to my game as best as I can, to be honest.
And when you watching film and things like that, do you watch yourself as well and say, okay, I need to do this? And do you like break down your own film?
Yeah, I think that's important in becoming a better player. If you don't watch yourself, you're not gonna really know what you're good and what you're not good at. You know, so I learned how to watch film for real when I got to college, bro. It made me. I had no choice. So I pretty much learned how to dissect my own film and kind of like critique myself, even though it's hard sometimes to critique myself and kind of like see where I gotta improve at. So it's definitely an important part of getting better as a hooper.
And talk about that IQ side of basketball, because you know that that LeBron press conference where he ran back the whole play and broke everything down. But just talk about having that part of the game.
Well, like I said, you gotta have that. Like that's honestly bigger. The mental is bigger than any physical thing you can do on the court. Like if you know where everybody's supposed to be at on the court every time, then it's gonna help you pretty much be better than everybody. Like LeBron is. So that's pretty much a bigger part of the game than anything I said you can have physical, bro. Like you got to know like the spots on the floor. You got to know the system that you're running. You got to know the defense that the other team is going to run against you. So like it's one of the most important things I would say on the court is knowing like you're having a good IQ and knowing what's going on.
Okay, and so now you are a professional basketball player. Like to break that down, a pro. You have that beside your name, definitely a professional hooper. So overseas, Lucas said that it's easier to score in the NBA than it is overseas. Now that you are a pro, do you see why he said that?
Yeah, I can see why he said that because like over here, bro, like it's more physical. Like they don't call as many fouls in Europe. Like in the NBA, it's more like I ain't gonna say it's soft, but they give you more foul calls. Like you know what I'm saying, it's better refereeing. But over here, like you got to be tough. Like they gonna foul you and they're not gonna call it sometimes. So you got to just play through it. And also the rules are different too. Like they don't have any no defensive 3 seconds in the lane over here, so they can camp in the lane all day long, wait on you to get there and block your shot. So it's just a little different, but I think it's definitely easier to score in America than it is in Europe for sure. I would say after playing in both now.
Wow. So how is the huddle? Because does your coach speak English?
They speak a little bit of English. It's kind of like broken English, but it's English, I guess. Yeah.
So how does that work? Because like everybody has different nationalities and things like that on one team. So I just wanted like, how does that work?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's hard sometimes. It's a barrier. I ain't gonna lie. It's a language barrier that's kind of hard to break through. Because like I said, we just speak different languages naturally, and they speak English, but it's different. They don't know certain words that we use on a regular basis in America. So it's just different. But I try my best to understand what he's saying, and if I can't, I'll ask him again to kind of repeat it for me, and then we go from there.
I think that playing overseas, I saw J.R. Smith said this because his coach didn't speak English, so he had to heavily rely on his IQ. So do you think that's something that has helped building your IQ? Because sometimes you can't have the conversation, you just got to know what's going on.
Exactly. I think sometimes, like I said, basketball is going to be basketball no matter where you at. So as long as you have a good IQ for the game, you kind of figure it out while you're on the court and kind of get through it. So that's what I would say about that. You got to have good IQ and it help you kind of get through those times where you don't know what he's saying or whatever. So that's what helps me out at least, is having a good IQ.
So, and I think you're the youngest player on your team right now, right?
No, I'm not. It's another dude on my team that's 23. I'm 25, so he's a couple years younger than me, but I'm one of the youngest ones for sure. This is my third year.
So how was that? being one of the youngest on the team? Because I know you're playing with grown men that need checks for their family and stuff like that. It's different than just going to class and hooping. You playing for your livelihood. What's the difference in that?
It's more serious, I would say. Dudes ain't really out here, to play around too much. They're here for a job, for a reason, like I said, to feed their family or feed themselves, whatever it is. So definitely more serious. It's a lot less room for error on the court. I would say you got to pretty much know what you're doing at all times, And like I said, it's not really too much playing around. Like, it's serious business. So you got to come here and put that work in every day. We practice a lot. We practice hard every day. There's no off days for real. So it's a different level from college for sure.
So, and when you come home, and everybody probably want to play basketball with you because, so how do you have to say no sometime? Or you just like, nah, I'm just here to chill? Or is it your instinct to pick up the ball and go hoop? Or do you refrain from that as much?
It's my instinct, bro, but sometimes I got to just tell dudes I'm chilling, bro. I just got home from a long, 8-9 month season overseas. I want to just relax sometimes, so it actually happened last year. I was supposed to come home and play like this tournament when I first got home last year, and I was like, bro, I can't even do it, dog. I got to take a little detox from basketball right now. I got to just chill and be a regular dude, you know what I'm saying, for right now. But after a while, I always get back on the court after like maybe a month or so of being home and kind of relaxing, let my body reset and recover. But it's definitely hard, bro. Like I said, 'cause I want to be on the court at all times, but I gotta be smart and listen to my body and kind of take it day by day sometimes.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't realize like that's your job. You play basketball, and like as we have regular jobs, we need a break too. So you still need a break from your job.
Exactly, feel like a job, and it can get exhausting sometimes, bro, mentally and physically. So you got to take a reset button every now and again, here and there. So definitely.
To get off the subject of basketball for a while, man. I say about since you've been overseas, I ain't gonna lie, you've been getting some fits off. So where did that fashion come from? Where did that bag get in?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I always kind of had it in me, but I didn't necessarily even have the funds to buy how I wanted to buy when I was maybe in high school or college for real. So I was always putting fits together, but over here, like, they got some exclusive stuff that we don't really got at home, so I'm able to really kind of get into a different bag for real as far as dressing. So, like, they got a bunch of everything, bro. Like, everything come from really Europe. Like, all the designer stores really come from here, so you get it firsthand and kind of see stuff before it hits the States. So I'm kind of blessed to have the opportunity for real and kind of being able to just put it together like that.
So are you gonna get into your Russell Westbrook and Kyle Kuzma bag, the crazy fits?
Wildin', bro. They be wearing skirts and shit. I ain't really with that. Keep it simple, but you know what I'm saying? I can put it on for sure, but they be doing too much though. They got too much bread for that. They too rich.
Did you have like a big culture shock when you went overseas? Like, what was the biggest culture shock you had?
My first stop overseas, it was 2020, right when COVID started, actually. And the country I was in, bro, like, they're not used to seeing black folks like that. So when they see me, they would just be like staring at me, like, "Oh my god, like this, like I'm a, I don't know, like or something." It was crazy, bro. So probably just being there and having to deal with that for real was one of the craziest things in my life. Probably just being stared at all the time. People want to touch me, touch my hair, like, it was crazy. It's real, like, depending on where you go, it's really different. But that was one of the craziest things I've seen so far being overseas. Just being like a ghost, basically, to them. Like, damn, he really here. Like, you're a black person.
Yeah, and you're not a small black person either, so it's like, ain't no hiding. Like, yeah.
Bro, funny story for real. Like, sometimes when kids see me over here, I might be the first black person they ever seen, like, in real life. So they just be staring at me like they're amazed. Like, damn, like, what is this? Like, like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So what's the best meal you've had overseas? If you had your favorite meal.
They got some good eats, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Favorite meal, man. They got great pasta over here. Pasta's A1. All the pasta A1. I love pasta. So whether it's chicken, steak, whatever, I love pasta. But my favorite meal probably was it was like this soy sauce covered chicken I would get from this one place. Soy sauce covered chicken with like roasted potatoes and broccoli on the side. That joint was A1. That was my first place to play that. A1. I want to go back there just for that food, for real.
That's what's up. Do they drive on different sides of the road over there?
They do in London, in the UK, but I haven't been there. I've been in this place called Kosovo. I was in Italy last year, and now I'm in Greece right now. So everywhere I've been, it's been on the right side of the road. So it's pretty much easier for me to just drive like I'm at home.
So, I mean, you've had this wealth of traveling. You know, like you said, you play D1 basketball. Like when you sit down and just like think about your career, like how does it feel to know like you're knocking down goals that you had set for yourself?
It feels good, bro. Like I said, came a long way from just being a little skinny kid from Colombia. So like, it's feel good to always be out here and travel the world and kind of, see things I never thought I would see before. So I'm definitely proud of myself, but I know I got a long ways to go to get where I really want to get in life. So I gotta just keep my head down and keep grinding and kind of, just keep going day by day, kind of where I'm at right now with it.
And
Grateful.
where does that, huh?
I said grateful but hungry at the same time.
So where does that humble mentality come from? Because I mean, you like you said, you're a dog on a court, but like every time I see you and see you any place, you always just cool. You never like, I'm this guy. No, I don't want nobody talking to me. So where did that come from?
I'm a regular dude like everybody else, bro. Like we went to the same schools, like went to know the same people. So like I want to be one of the guys sometimes. Like how we grew up. So just always kind of remember where I come from and not letting the game of basketball let me get a big head about life. 'Cause any day it can be taken away from me like that. So just gotta be thankful for it and be grateful and be a good dude at all times. The best as I can, still learning, still growing, but best as I can, just be a good dude and kind of, carry that over into the world and kind of, spread love and peace to everybody for real. That's one of my goals in life.
Word. My last question I got for you is which one would you rather?
What's up?
Would you rather an and one dunk or an and 1 3?
I ain't gonna lie to you. You seen me play before, so you probably know what I'm about to say. The and one dunk is cool. Like, that's gonna be the highlight. That's gonna get you, to go viral and all of that. That's cool, but three is worth more than two. So I'm gonna take the and 1 3 and get that 4-point play real quick and get add 4 points to my total. So easily the 4-point play, sure.
Yeah, I figured. I already knew. I felt like that was going to be your answer, but I had to ask because I know most people are going to say, "Oh, I'm going to take that dunk. I'm going to take that dunk." I said, "Nah." I figured he's going to take that 4-point play.
Feel me? That's going to add up, give me 30 quicker. So I'm getting that 4-point play for sure.
Well, man, I appreciate you coming on for sure. I'm gonna let you out the floor. You can let the people know what's going on with you. You can shout out your social media, whatever you want, man. It's all you right now.
Yeah, man. Just tap in with me on the gram. Instagram is at 1marathonmac3. That's my Instagram handle. Tap in with me on there. I got a brand on there too as well. Only the strong survive. So we're gonna be dropping some more stuff again soon. I think the summer coming up. A lot of more tees, a lot of more hoodies and shirts. So stay in tune with me. We got a lot of stuff coming. So just stay in tune. It's all love. Appreciate the support from everybody, and gonna keep this thing going.
Yes, sir. This is episode 16. Tevin Mack. Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate it, Brody.